Heyo, and what is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV tonight. They did it, everybody! They hired Paul Heyman as the executive creative director, and the whole direction of this show has changed, and everything was just so good. Wait a minute, why does this feel like it's not right? Something is missing. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot to take up the hammer. Oh, Thor, here you are. That's more like it. Are you fucking kidding me? With this show, the first Monday Night Raw, under Paul Heyman's watch, starts off with a literal bang. And some of you guys might have been excited about all of that, but I most definitely was not. And then it just became the Raw we all love so much to hate. And we are going to talk about it right now as I tell you guys everything that is still wrong with Monday Night Raw and why you are silly if you expected things to change overnight, if they even change at all, because the WWE gave us
nothing! Absolutely nothing! Stupid! You're so stupid!
And there's nothing worse than making me feel stupid, and we are going to talk about it right here and right now. My name is Nick Nightmare, and you are watching the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show's Monday Night Raw review. We're not stupid, are we? Maybe. Let's do this.
Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Oh, Raw was so great, man. Did you watch the first 30 minutes, you guys? Oh my god, it was a knockdown, drag 'em out between Braun Strowman and boring Trashly, the almighty milk dud Bobby Lashley. It was something to behold. Well, you know what, you guys? I seen Godzilla King of the Monsters. And apparently, whoever wrote tonight's show saw that movie as well and said, hey, let's do that to start Monday Night Raw. That'll be different. And I see all these people, and you may have been one of them as well. And if you were, it's okay. You're a sledgehead, and I could be forgiving of certain things. I know everybody was coming into this thing with great expectations, and you might have opened up your mind, and maybe it allowed you to soak up the first 30 minutes of this show, watching this beatdown between these two behemoth men. And you fully enjoyed it. Oh, because they went through the Titantron and then all the pyro went off and blah. Let me tell you something. To be fair, in my defense, okay, and maybe some of you guys feel the same way, and I hope that this is the case, but I have been so far disconnected from the characters of Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley. I could give two shits what they did tonight. They could have wrestled all throughout the crowd, into the back, up to the top of the roof, on top of the arena. They could have grabbed onto a helicopter and then had a swinging, hanging foot fight in midair before they dropped down into monster trucks and had a monster truck rally in the parking lot like the Big Show did with Hulk Hogan back in the days of WCW. And then they could have had the two monster trucks fucking explode, and Braun Strowman survives, and Bobby Lashley still survives, and then they have the whole National Guard come in and take them out. And you could have done all of that. And I still wouldn't have give a shit about that opening fucking segment, because the characters of Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley mean absolute shit. And aside from that, how many times can we see these two guys beat the holy hell out of each other? I don't want to see this shit anymore. This is the same old shit. Why are you getting so excited about it? Because the Titantron blew up a little bit? Stop it. Calm down. That was nothing. That was absolutely nothing. Excessive pyro to sell how big the spot was going to be, to make it look like a whole lot more than it was. It took way too much time to recover these guys, get them on the ambulance, get them out, and reset the show and get it going. There was no reason why that had to take 30 minutes. And then we had to keep going back and showing the clip and talking about it over and over. This one's sending well wishes to Braun Strowman. This one's sending well wishes to Braun Strowman. Who gives a shit? Why the fuck do they care? Why did they even book this nonsense? Who cares? That is the theme of tonight's review. Tonight's review should be called the Who Fucking Cares Show. Because they did not put anything on this card, in this show tonight, that any of us should care about. Case in point, the New Day versus the Viking Raiders. Started out okay. It's a wild card rule, has the New Day coming over here. I'm over all that shit already. But I was like, all right, this is a matchup that we haven't really seen before. This is something I could get into. They removed Kofi Kingston from the situation. It's not the three of them out there versus the two. So I figured, hey, I'll give this a chance. Maybe we'll get a decent tag team matchup. And it did start out down that path. But then the WWE actually did something interesting and then would go on to ruin it. They had Samoa Joe come out and attack Kofi Kingston's New Day brothers and cost them the match with the Viking Raiders, which I thought was an interesting way to book this matchup. It makes them keep all of the tag teams in the situation safe from having to suffer a pinfall or some sort of a loss. Nobody's going to lose momentum. Samoa Joe furthers his story for the WWE Heavyweight Championship with Kofi Kingston, and it would have been a great way to end that segment. And then build up towards next week, where Monday Night Raw, you can advertise the New Day, this time with Kofi Kingston, is going to take on Samoa Joe versus the Viking Raiders, since they wanted to decide to help Samoa Joe after he attacked the New Day initially to end the matchup. I don't know when the Viking Raiders became bad guys. I don't know when they decided to make the heel turn. I guess that's what happened tonight. I'm not that pissed off about it. I just wish they would be a little more clear in their explanation of things, but they don't know what they're doing with anything, so I shouldn't even expect them to be clear. They probably didn't even know what they were watching at the commentary booth, as I didn't know what I was watching while I was sitting on my couch. And then they would take it a step further and ruin it even more, because before we even go to commercial break, Kofi Kingston comes out from the back. He comes to defend his bros, and then we go to commercial break. And what do you think is going to happen? They didn't do the smart thing and end it and move on to the next segment, since we're so limited of time and we have to base the shows around the commercials now. They immediately come back to a 6-man tag. One of the staples of Monday Night Raw that I wish they would remove from the binding of the book, because it's just fucking old and tired, and it doesn't matter how many 6 men you put in the ring. They've done so many 6-man matchups that it takes away from 6-mans in any other promotion that you will watch anywhere. When I see a 6-man tag, my brain immediately just goes pfft, and that goes for AEW as well, and anywhere else that wants to book a 6-man tag. Even my beloved House of Glory, 6-man tags are fucking played out thanks to the WWE. It's a regular occurrence multiple times a week, and I'm done with it. And like I said, they had a chance to actually give us a reason to care by having an angle go off and booking something for the future. Giving us reason to be excited, maybe, if you cared. But I think it would make people care, because you would want to see what's going to come next. Samoa Joe just attacked the fucking New Day. What's Kofi Kingston going to do? We don't have to tune in next week, because he's going to do it in 30 seconds. That's not the right way to be going about booking these shows. Fucking awful. The 6-man tag ends with Joe locking the coquina clutch in on Kofi Kingston, choking out the champion. And you could come down on this either way. While I am not a fan of the champion losing in any way while he's a champion, unless he is going to drop the title to his opponent, having him passed out in the arms of the Samoan submission machine is not so much of a big deal. Because choking out your opponent is not the same as pinning him. It doesn't do the same damage to your mojo. You were choked out. You passed out. Kofi Kingston probably didn't know for a good 3 minutes that he even lost that match. It's a good way to extend the storyline. It's a good way to increase drama and increase tension between the two. give the fans reason to believe that Samoa Joe may be able to choke out Kofi Kingston by the time we get to Extreme Rules without having to really damage Kofi Kingston as a champion by pinning his shoulders to the mat. So essentially, I'm okay with how they ended this whole thing. I just wish they would have taken enough care to make it more interesting and leading it in to something else that we could have looked forward to next week. But instead, they're giving everything out on the plate tonight. It wasn't that bad. As a tag team matchup to start, it turned into your general six-man tag, which just ended with Samoa Joe choking out the champ. And that's how Monday Night Raw pretty much kicked off after the whole, oh, we're going to blow up the entrance ramp for Braun and Bobby. Gives a shit. Then we go to the fucking ring, and Cesaro's just standing there because Cesaro's apparently a jobber now. He doesn't deserve a fucking entrance. They finally give the guy cool entrance music. They don't let him come out to it. He's just standing out there in the ring so that we can see, no, hey, who, hey, ho, hey, no way, ho, say, and his conga fucking jerk-offs come down to the ring so that we can essentially see nothing because this whole segment turned into my favorite 24/7 Avocado I'm a Clown Jerk-Off Championship title segment featuring my boy R-Truth. And I'm not losing any love for R-Truth. I love R-Truth, but let me tell you something. This shtick is getting fucking old. And if this title was only created to trade back and forth between R-Truth and Drake Maverick and the occasional jobber in between, I'm even less interested than I was in the first place. This was fucking ridiculous. I feel like R-Truth should be like part of the New Day. Like, you know how the New Day's gimmick is just kind of old now, the pancakes and the horns and the unicorns and the trumpets, like it's old, it's a little played out. The New Day is still great, but it's old, and that's how I feel about R-Truth. Like this whole 24/7 thing, it kind of just kicked off. It's only been around for what, a month and a half, and it feels tired and old, and I hated it from the minute it was born, and I still continue to hate it. It does nothing but drag this show down. If you're the type of person that finds enjoyment in WWE getting off by trying all their little comedy tricks and trying to be an actual TV show by writing all these skits and segments for a fucking green belt that looks like a piece of avocado toast, instead of writing segments and vignettes for fucking superstars to get themselves over and to familiarize us with who they are, that maybe we might give a shit about these people, we're gonna waste our time with this shit. Cue the Benny Hill music. If it didn't fucking strike me with a content claim, I would definitely be using that a whole lot more. I don't know what the parameters is. I don't know if I could use like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, whatever it is. But it's not worth losing a whole nother fucking video's worth of monetization. So we're not gonna do that. Again, unfortunately, because I thought that was really fucking funny. What isn't funny is anytime I see the fucking king of sweat, Shane McMahon, coming down, dropping buckets on his way to the ring off his fucking forehead. Pooh! Pooh! I feel like I would be more entertained watching slow motion footage of Shane McMahon's beads of sweat trickling from the top of his fucking beady little eyes all the way down his puffy potato cheeks, down off his Vince McMahon cleft fucking chin, and watch it in slow motion all the way as it goes down past his fucking dad bod, all the way through his money shoes until it hits the mat and we can see it go pooh in super slow motion. Show me that. Show me that in time-lapse photography instead of every fucking thing else you decided to show me with Shane McMahon and his running buddy Drew McI-don't-give-a-shit, so that we can have The Undertaker. Oh, here's where everybody's gonna get mad at old Nick Nightmare, because I didn't give a shit about The Undertaker being on Monday Night Raw. Do you know why I didn't give a shit about The Undertaker being on Monday Night Raw tonight? Because The Undertaker came out to talk to Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre. You could literally insert anybody. You could insert Mike Cucknellis and his wife Maria into the same scenario instead of Shane McMuffin and Drew McI-don't-give-a-shit, and I would be more interested in what The Undertaker had to say. But what did The Undertaker come out to say tonight, you guys? The Undertaker come out to say what The Undertaker comes out and always says. Rest in peace. You're going to be taken to the bowels of hell. The acrid stench of Monday Night Raw is too strong. Who gives a fuck? because he's talking to Shane McMahon. And everybody, oh, The Undertaker's here. Let me lose my shit. This is the best Raw ever. I got to see The Undertaker. You want to see The Undertaker? Fire up the fucking network. You don't want to shell out $10 a month? Go on YouTube. Look up WrestleMania 25, Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. I'm doing you a favor. You want to see The Undertaker? You can see him any fucking time you want. You can see him in all his glory. Anywhere on fucking YouTube. WWE.com. Don't waste The Undertaker's time with this nonsense. This is disrespectful to his legacy. You're going to have him in a fucking tag team with Roman Reigns. And tonight, when The Undertaker is there, and everybody knew The Undertaker was going to be there, tonight is the one night Roman Reigns decides he's not going to be on Monday Night Raw to back up his fucking partner. I don't care where any of this is going. And if it is leading us to Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker at SummerSlam, and you people think for one crazy second that The Undertaker turning on Roman Reigns is going to get the WWE Universe to boo The Undertaker in favor of the big dog, you are fucking nuts. If you truly believe that, you just need to get out of my face.
I know you better get out of my face. Out of my face. Out of my face.
Get out of my face with that. Absolutely. Just like I want Shane McMahon to get out of my face. This was a complete waste of time. You didn't miss anything. I also would like to get out of my face with fucking Lacey Evans. Now, essentially, I want to give her a chance, and I want to tell you guys to give her a chance, but she comes out and she just disappoints me in the ring. She's nowhere near ready to be on the main roster. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just calling it like I see it. I tell you guys the truth. I tell you how it is. You know that to be a fact by now if you've been following me for quite some time. I don't just pick on people for the sake of picking on them. Alright, this girl comes out there and they want to give it the old college try. And they're putting her out there against the established Natalya. And if you can't go out there and have a good match with the only fucking girl on the roster that has been wrestling, actually wrestling, for over 10 years, that's from a wrestling dynasty of a family and could do wonders to put you over, and you can't do that, then there's no fucking hope for you. But the WWE did her no favors because they paired her with Baron Corbin. So what's the first thing wrong with this fucking matchup? 1, it was booked. 2, we had to see Lacey Evans. And 3, we had to see Lacey Evans with Baron Corbin accompanying her to fucking ringside like they're a new fucking hot item, God forbid. But we're going with this fucking soap opera bullshit. Baron Corbin needs to have a woman by his side because Seth Rollins is with Becky Lynch, and we're going to get to that. Don't worry, we're going to get to that. My problem really with this whole thing comes in the finish. The WWE failed Lacey Evans tonight because here is a shot that she could have had to show the world that she is what she says she is, that the woman's right is something to be feared by going out there and beating Natalya clean prior to her match with Becky Lynch. Make people believe that this fucking girl has a chance. But no, what do? You have her win because Baron Corbin is a douchebag and trips Natalya. Had that not happened, Lacey Evans maybe doesn't win this matchup. Right? But Lacey Evans didn't really win this matchup. Baron Corbin helped her win this matchup. So Natalya loses here. And it still does no good to help the image of Lacey Evans. Because not only did she have to cheat to lose, the person doing the cheating for her was Constable Dickhead. Fucking awful. We've seen the Street Profits come up to Monday Night Raw tonight. No fanfare to it. Nothing special about it. The NXT World Tag Team Champions are coming to Monday Night Raw. And the way that they brought them up here was just fucking ridiculous. If you guys watch NXT, which most of you guys do, you will remember when the Street Profits first came around. They weren't in the ring, they weren't backstage, but they had these incredible vignettes where they introduced themselves. They told us what they were all about. They had their pimp cup and the gold crowns on, and they told us all about the life of the Street Profits. That was for weeks before they hit the ring. And by the time they got to the ring, everybody at Full Sail knew who they were and were excited to see what they were going to do. And then we have the WWE main roster. Oh, let's call up the Street Profits. Well, what do you want to do? Oh, fuck it. Just throw them in a fucking interview. Nobody that doesn't watch NXT knows who these guys are. Instead of having them come out and do a promo cold to a crowd that has not much exposure to them based off the reaction that they got, I don't understand. I don't understand. That's what wrestling was all about. Remember when you were a kid and Razor Ramon was coming and for weeks you'd see, hey yo, I'm Razor Ramon. I live in Miami. I wear gold chains. I drive a Cadillac, man. You know, and every fucking week you see him spitting in somebody's face, throwing a fucking toothpick in all these different scenarios. Who the fuck is this guy? What the fuck is he all about? They did the same thing with Goldust. For weeks, we just seen the name Goldust written in the sand, and then the ocean would wash it away. And then slowly but surely we would get more and more little bits of Goldust doing quotes, famous movie quotes, all painted up like a fucking Oscar statue. Who the fuck is this guy? But now we come to fucking just here. Boom! Here are these two guys. Figure them out for yourself. Oh, by the way, they're called the fucking Street Profits. Thanks, Michael Cole. Awful. Disrespectful. Fucking stupid. Just like booking AJ Styles versus Ricochet for the second consecutive week in a row for the United States Championship, which is a match that has enough problems of its own once we get to it. But this first encounter on Monday Night Raw, I didn't mind. AJ Styles and Ricochet in a verbal encounter in the back after AJ Styles was egged on a little bit by the Good Brothers, slapped the taste out of each other's mouth, and that was something that you like to see in pro wrestling. There was a little bit of fire there, right? These guys were getting under each other's skin. AJ Styles laid in with a vicious slap. Ricochet slapped him back, and now you're like, oh yeah, we're fired up. This is going to be a good fucking match. And then you remember, oh wait a minute, we're going to this match with 20 minutes in, towards the end of the show, and they still got to go to a commercial break. How are they going to fuck this up? Because we can't have wrestling during commercial breaks anymore. Vince McMahon flips off his fans on a weekly basis. He's got the balls to fuck with us and give us shit we don't want to see and purposely go against the grain, but he don't have the balls to go to fucking USA Network and say, listen, bro, this isn't going to work. This isn't how wrestling has been done for a fucking 100 years. For the last 50 years on TV, we have never done this. And all you're doing is ruining the show even more. I'm having trouble with it as it is. Why don't you give me a fucking break here and cut this nonsense out? But he don't got big enough balls to do that because he's afraid he ain't going to get the money. Right? Asshole. Ugh. Elias is announced in the ring and is immediately interrupted by The Miz because we're going to have a rematch, a 2 out of 3 falls rematch of a 2 out of 3 falls matchup, which was booked in the exact same way as last Tuesday's SmackDown Live 2 out of 3 with The Miz and Elias. You think I'm lying? Go watch it back. The Miz, boom, immediately gets a fucking pinfall. Immediately, bang. Before we even get to 5 minutes, probably even less, we got 2 pinfalls. How does that make these guys look? How is Elias a good professional wrestler if he could be pinned by The Miz in under 2 minutes, and then The Miz gets pinned himself in another following 2 minutes, and then we go to commercial break and these two idiots have to fucking stand there while we're at commercial break. And then we come back from commercial and we're gonna fucking restart the matchup. Round 3. And what about Michael fucking Cole? What a dumbass. Right in the middle of this matchup. We're about to get to the second fall. The Miz goes into the first fall and this idiot says, well, we're not going to go to commercial until we get to the second fall. Why don't you just fucking tell us Elias is going to get the next pinfall, you idiot monkey? Oh, after the second pinfall, we'll go to commercial break. Until then, we're going to stay with this matchup. What, for another 30 seconds? Was it that necessary to do that? Are we that much anticipating the commercial break as a fan? Oh, thank God he told us when the commercials are coming. Now I know when to fucking wake up and pay attention so that somebody can tell me where I can find the nearest fucking Arby's. Oh my god. This match ends with The Miz winning and Elias losing, which is what we're getting fucking used to seeing with Elias. The Miz wins for what reason? I don't know. Why are we supposed to care about this matchup? What the fuck is going on? Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch have a promo in the back, if you want to call it that. They get asked a simple question, and all these guys could do is what are we fucking practicing Lamaze? Or are we having a fucking wrestling interview? Oh, Becky, what do you think about who wrote this shit? Was somebody fucking hyperventilating? Hey, we're gonna write the Becky fucking and Seth promo. Somebody dictate this for us. You write down everything this guy says. Okay, so we're gonna start the promo like this. And then the guy goes into an asthma attack, but he still tries to get the promo out. And the guy's sitting there writing. So Becky, you gotta read this shit. What the hell is this shit? What? What else to read this? Fuck this show. This was some of the worst fucking shit I have ever seen. These two are talking to each other like I have more chemistry with the fucking customers that come into my store for a half a pound of bologna than these two guys. And I'm not even kidding about that. A lady will come in and be like, hello, sweetheart. How are you doing? How can I help you today? Oh, why, thank you. I'll have a half a pound of bologna, young man. Thank you for your help. Oh, well, you're welcome, dear. Have a nice day. You could get from our conversation that we might fucking be in love, but when you watch these two on fucking screen, it's like watching two fucking ducks trying to fucking swim down the fucking wrong stream or something. I don't even have a proper analogy for it because it's just so fucking awkward. So awkward. I pray to God that you guys have made it this far in the review. Everybody that has checked out on me by now, you're missing some of the best stuff, right? So if you're still watching me, you got to make sure everybody sees this stuff. Make sure you share this because I'm on a roll tonight. I am on a roll tonight, and I hope you guys are enjoying the ride. We got Seth and Becky Cat coughing up fucking hairballs in the back. And worse than any fucking daytime soap opera stuff you will ever see. I feel like the people that wrote for this used to write for like Brazzers or Pornhub or something like that. But you know what? Even that fucking interactions that you see on those videos have more fucking chemistry and love behind them than you got to see here with these two. And then it gets even fucking worse because out of nowhere, they go, oh, well, Becky and Seth, you consider yourself the first couple of the WWE, and immediately I became enraged, because that is a phrase you should not be using. You want to call them the power couple, you want to call them the odd couple, you want to call them the doubles couple champions, whatever, I don't care. You can't call them the first couple of the WWE. The first couple of the WWE is the Macho Man Randy Savage and the lovely and beautiful Miss Elizabeth. May they both forever rest in peace, and fuck off with that shit. Have some respect. Just a little bit of respect for the past. The first couple of the WWE. And who wants to come out of the darkness to challenge for this coveted title? Maria Cuck-Nellis and her bitch husband, Mike Cuck-Nellis. If you don't know what a cuckold is, please don't look it up, because you will forever hate me for the rest of your life. Do not. I beg of you, do not. And if you do, in spite of my warning to not, please do not hold me accountable for what you fucking come up with on this disgusting internet. Okay, the fact that the WWE, a PG show, a family show, right? We can't have blood, we can't do this, we can't do that, but we can do a cuckold angle. We could have Maria Kanellis just absolutely bitch out her husband, a man that hasn't been on WWE TV, a couple of fucking knuckleheads that nobody gives a shit about. Nobody gave a shit about them when you tried to throw them on us in the first place. You want to know what the sound of crickets during Monday Night Raw sounds like? Go back and watch Maria Cuck-Nellis and Mike Cuck-Nellis come down to the ring during their theme song. Oddly enough, the crickets coincide exactly with the tone of their theme song. So it might be hard to hear, but there is no reaction. No reaction because nobody cared. Nobody cared until she started to turn this fucking segment into a Jerry Springer episode. We turned a tag team matchup into a fucking episode of Jerry Springer. But we are just getting started on this. This fucking lady, Maria Kanellis, wants to talk shit to the WWE champion. Say she's going to go out there and whoop her ass. That her husband would be the Universal Champion if only he was afforded the fucking opportunities that Seth Rollins was given. And they go out there to have a tag team matchup, and now this Maria Kanellis wants to pull back. She don't want to fight Becky Lynch. She wants to drop a bombshell that she's pregnant. And I'm like, are we watching a fucking real soap opera right now? Or am I watching professional wrestling? All of a sudden, this turns into Maria's fucking pregnant. Don't hit me. And then instead of this just going away, which is what it should have done, it goes to Maria, still with a live microphone, going into the ring, emasculating Mike Kanellis, saying, you got me pregnant, or maybe you didn't get me pregnant. I'm surprised you were even man enough to do so. Becky Lynch is the man around here. You're not the man. Maybe Becky Lynch got me pregnant. What the fuck? What? What am I watching? This certainly doesn't look or sound anything like professional wrestling, and I hope, beyond all hope, that this is not a Paul Heyman thing. I swear to God, I really, really hope and pray that Paul Heyman had absolutely zero input on tonight's show. That they're like, all right, Paul, we're going to let you in on things, but we're going to keep going with the show as it is for the next couple of weeks until we can slowly transition you into this whole entire thing. Because if this is what he's bringing to the table, cuckold angles, no thank you. We then had a moment of bliss. And this moment of bliss was only given to us so that we could go to commercial break before we got to the match. And the match we got tonight was Nikki Cross versus Carmella. 1. Why does Carmella give a shit about Nikki Cross? She don't give two shits about Nikki Cross. Nobody gave a shit about Nikki Cross when she was lurking around backstage or for all these months, not having a match, not being on TV. Nobody gave a shit. All of a sudden, she's friends with Alexa Bliss. Now everybody wants to fucking save Nikki Cross. Last week it was Natalya and Naomi. Now it's going to be fucking Carmella. Everybody's taking a stand for Nikki Cross. Nobody wants her to be double-crossed by Alexa Bliss. Who gives a shit? Why do they give a shit? Why don't they give a shit about their own fucking career? And don't worry about Nikki Cross getting fucking double-crossed by Alexa, because it's only going to open up a spot for you in the future. Logistically, as a fucking wrestler, as your character should be thinking just that. Well, fuck them. Let them do their thing. I'm going to do my thing. What do they care? They never fucking even barely crossed paths before. Are they friends that we're unaware of? That all of a sudden Carmella's coming out there? Oh, you shouldn't be doing this to Nikki Cross. You're just using her. The fuck out of here with this crap. The only thing that come out of this whole segment is that Nikki Cross gets a win. She beats Carmella, a two-time former SmackDown Live Women's Champion, former Money in the Bank winner, clean, without the help of Alexa Bliss. She didn't get involved, not one fucking red little bit, not one lick. So it was a clean win for Nikki Cross, which is a great thing. But it's only going to be ruined by her eventual loss to Alexa Bliss. Because after this match, we come back from the break, and some new blonde promo bot is in the back, and she approaches Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. And she drops a bombshell. She's like, oh, how would you like to learn that the WWE Universe wants you to fight Bayley at Extreme Rules? Where did you get that fucking stat? What, did you give it a whole 30 seconds? Did you ask that question out on Twitter? Did you put it out on WWE.com? What were the fucking results? Why didn't you fucking show it? Where did you come up with that little nugget, Blondie? There was only about fucking 2 minutes tops you could have polled the fucking fans. And anybody who fucking is anybody is going to ask for Nikki Cross to fight over Alexa Bliss. What? So now Alexa Bliss is going to be mad. The next couple of weeks, maybe even tomorrow night, there's going to be some sort of a confrontation between these two. And it's all going to go by the wayside. And then, again, I could be wrong, and this might be leading to Nikki Cross beating Alexa Bliss and being put in that scenario. But it wouldn't make sense to do that now, would it? I don't understand. which is something that I hate when it comes to professional wrestling. We come back to the 24/7 Avocado I'm a Jerk-Off Clown fucking championship because Drake Maverick is leaving. His wife's been all pissed off about him with this 24/7 championship. He's making it more important than his marriage. She's getting all aggravated about it. I'm getting all aggravated about it because I really, really don't care. R-Truth is hiding, right? And everybody's running after him, right? But Drake Maverick stands there, and he's got his little travel bag, and he just wants to go on his honeymoon. And he sees R-Truth, and R-Truth doesn't see him. And this fucking idiot, who's been obsessed with the 24/7 championship, stands there for a solid 2 minutes and does nothing. He had the advantage to win that championship and did nothing. But he waited for Truth to turn around, and then he's like, nah, I just want to go on my honeymoon, I don't want to do this, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, he's pinning R-Truth and running off on his honeymoon with the 24/7 title. And unless you're a fucking complete idiot, you know what you're going to see next week, right? We're getting clips of Drake Maverick on his honeymoon, probably just about to consummate his fucking marriage, since they made that a thing. And R-Truth is going to win the championship back. And we're going to have to watch this. Certainly not looking forward to it. Who cares? Like I said, the theme of tonight's show. Who the fuck cares? Ricochet versus AJ Styles gets ruined just like it did last week, in a very similar fashion, yet at the same time a very different fashion. And I know that seems kind of crazy to say, but last week the match was interrupted by the Good Brothers because they wanted to help AJ win by interfering for him, but AJ sent them away. Next thing you know, the match was restarted. This week, we played hot potato with the U.S. Championship since it's worth about a fucking bag of quarters to the WWE. We're going to make Ricochet look like a complete asshole. Then we are going to follow that up with making AJ Styles look like a complete asshole. Because even though this is not a 2 out of 3 falls matchup, we're going to kind of do what we do in a 2 out of 3 falls matchup. And we're going to give AJ Styles the pin. But we're going to make it be controversial. And the ref's not going to see Ricochet's foot under the bottom rope when AJ Styles hits the phenomenal forearm and gets the 1, 2, 3 within like 4 minutes of this matchup. The United States Championship done. And then the second ref comes out. You knew this was coming. You could feel it coming if you're anything like me, because we got to go to commercial soon, so you could feel this shit coming. And they question, oh, is the victory going to stand? And then we go to commercial, and then we come back and we restart the matchup because there was a controversy. When has this ever really happened before? Certainly didn't happen for Samoa Joe and Rey Mysterio with their little fucking fighting over the belt a while back. It has not happened many times to the best of my knowledge. I struggle to come up with another time to even think of something similar to what they did here tonight, because as far as I know, the referee's decision is final. You can't reverse the decision of the referee. You can restart the matchup, but the victory still stands. And we started this matchup under the ruling that AJ Styles did not win the championship and that Ricochet was still the United States champion. You cannot reverse the referee's decision. Isn't that a rule? Wasn't that a thing? I guess not anymore. The match restarted, and for the second week in a row, AJ Styles gets pinned by Ricochet on Monday Night Raw in the main event, making him look like a complete fool because of the way they booked this matchup, doing 50-50 booking in the same matchup, and I just can't stomach it at all. However, the show did go and close with an interesting little thing happening, something that we could all pretty much see coming a mile away. If you've been paying attention in the last couple of weeks to AJ Styles and the Good Brothers, you could see the reformation of the club. It was wafting in the air, and tonight we got to take our first big whiff of the club coming back onto the scene in the WWE, and that's something I can really get behind, something I can get excited about. I like a heel AJ Styles. I like when he has his buddy in his corner, and he's got a decent target to attack in the very wholesome, very good, clean-cut, all-American boy type in Ricochet, and it's just should be something interesting. It'll be interesting to see who Ricochet recruits to combat the numbers game in the Good Brothers, and we should finally maybe get some good matches out of. The one thing I hate the most about WWE TV right now is that we're all going to have to wait for a pay-per-view to actually get a regular fucking matchup. Every single show on Raw and SmackDown from here on out, maybe until October when we go to Fox, is going to be dominated by this fucking ruling that we can't have action in the ring when we go to commercial, and it just makes these shows infinitely worse. If you thought for 1 minute that tonight's Monday Night Raw was an improvement, if you thought it was good in any way, that I'm sorry, but I have to play this again for you because you don't know anything. You know nothing, and unfortunately, you're stupid.
Nothing! Absolutely nothing! Stupid! You're so stupid!
I don't like to say these things, and I don't want to say these things to you guys. So I have to believe that you're not stupid, and that you agree with everything I have to say. Do you think tonight was a big fucking deal because they had some pyro blow up at the beginning, we had the club reform at the end, and not Cody, I guess still got AEW on the mind a little bit, Corey fucking Graves saying holy shit, Maria Kanellis saying bitch, Corey Graves said the word bitch. Oh, what an edgy fucking show. Take your show and stick it where the sun don't shine. This was fucking trash. This was maybe... No, I'm not even going to say it. We say it all the time, oh, this was the worst Raw, blah, blah, blah. And at this point, I'm so tired of even saying that. I don't even want to call this Raw. We should just fucking call this show Monday Night Trash. It's Monday Night Trash. From this point forward, nothing has changed. I didn't expect anything to change. And I know there's going to be some fucking idiot in the comment, oh, well, it's not going to happen overnight. Yeah, I know, dumbass. I told all of you that when I told you guys about the whole scenario when I did the report on Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff when the announcement was made. So there ain't going to be no changes by the time we get to Monday. But I certainly didn't expect it to be worse. I certainly didn't expect to see Maria and Mike fucking Kanellis out of nowhere. So she comes back from being pregnant and pushing a fucking baby out of her uterus to come back and tell us she's pregnant again. And she's going to go away again, but I don't think she's really pregnant. It's probably all for fucking storyline. And goddamn it, I don't care. I'm not watching fucking Days of Our Lives. This isn't All My Fucking Children. We ain't watching Another World or General fucking Hospital As the World Turns. This is supposed to be Monday Night fucking Raw. I don't give two fucks about Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch's relationship. I don't give two fucks about Mike Kanellis and Maria fucking Kanellis. I don't give two shits about Baron Corbin, Lacey Evans, fucking Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley. Where was Finn Balor tonight? Oh, he's on fucking SmackDown, that's right, but why can't he come over since everybody's playing with the wild card rule anyway? I don't remember who's fucking goes where, what's what, up is down and down is up in the Monday Night Raw fucking world right now. My God. I cannot for 1 minute believe that Paul Heyman had anything to do with this show. Other than the one little segment he came out to tease Brock Lesnar, since he has to tease him being around all the time, and the Street Profits came out, oh, did you say Brock Lesnar? Is it what you had for the Street Profits? Oh, he said Brock Lesnar's here. Great! We're the NXT champions. Why do we give a fuck about Brock Lesnar being on the show? Oh, I don't know, bro. Why do we give a shit? I don't know. They told us to say this. Fuck this show. And, before we close this off, I'm going to advertise this video. We did bring the hammer down on Fyter Fest, and this special announcement and this special advertisement is dedicated to any fucking idiot who wants to comment on this review and say, oh, well, you're just an AEW dick licker, man. Oh, why don't you watch your Cody Rhodes and your Dean Ambrose, man? Or why don't you stop watching WWE and go lick AEW's ass, man? It ain't like that over here. I love pro wrestling, and I judge all fucking companies equally, and I tell you guys everything wrong with All Elite Wrestling's Fyter Fest, and there was plenty for the hammer to come down on. So don't you dare hit this comment section with any of that fucking bullshit, because you will immediately be deleted, which is not something that I do very often unless you guys really go off the rails on your comments. I leave everybody's opinions and all of that, but please, don't even, because AEW is not fucking safe. Oh, well, it was better than Raw, man. It was better than Stomping Ground, man. That's like saying a fucking lemonade is better than just water. Of course it is. It's got flavor. It's got a little bit of flavor. Just being better than the fucking worst show out there is nothing to hang your hat on. The Fyter Fest was just a television show. It was like a 3-hour Monday Night Raw. It didn't have the feel of an All In. It wasn't a big pay-per-view. It was given away for free. It wasn't meant to have that feel. I understand. But everybody makes mistakes. And everybody gets shit wrong. And I am going to call you out on it. No matter if you're WWE, AEW, Impact, NWA, Marvel's Avengers, The Dark Phoenix, Game of Thrones. No one is safe from the hammer. Thank you guys for checking out this episode of the Monday Night Raw Review, brought to you by the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, only here on Sledgehammer TV. My name is Nick Nightmare. This is the team, Thor the Sledgehammer, the official Sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. His tag team partner, the World Heavyweight Champion of all the microphones in all the world, Mr. Blue the Snowball Microphone, and you will never find another show anywhere in the world on this platform or any other with a World Champion microphone like mine. But the most important member of the team, as always, is each and every one of you. This is the opportunity for any of you guys that are not subscribed to this channel to join the Sledgehead Army right now by hitting that subscribe button. Help us get to 2,000 subscribers before we get to Extreme Rules. If you enjoyed anything I said here on the show tonight, if I made you laugh, if I made you cry, even if I made you angry, but you still stuck around and enjoyed it to this point, hit that thumbs up right now, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything we got coming at you, because we have been firing on all cylinders. We got WWE 2K19 simulation matchups coming your way for Extreme Rules as soon as they announce a matchup that I want to simulate and call the match for you. We have all of the AEW coverage in the upcoming weeks. We still, with the weekly Monday Night Raw and SmackDown reviews, we will be covering Spider-Man Far From Home coming up in the next week once we get our asses to go see it over this holiday weekend. Hopefully you guys have a safe and happy 4th of July, and please don't forget to do so, and make sure you check back in with us next week right here on your new favorite channel. That, my friends, is going to do it. And we are out of here. And we will see you next time right here on your new favorite wrestling show, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, only on Sledgehammer TV, right here on YouTube.com.
I know you better get out of my face! Out of my face! Out of my face!
Sorry, wrong screen.